ladies. Thank you so much to all of you who have been so loving and supporting of everyone in the group. While I was traveling all of last week, it's a little bit harder to stay as up to speed, but I love being here with you guys, and you motivate me to keep going all the time. So a couple things, like in answer to, it is hard for me to coach all of you as a group because everyone has a lot of the same similar struggles, right? Like that's why we're in a group, so that we can do this together. So I just wanted to answer them kind of like one, and just kind of let you know, I've been in that place where you really feel super frustrated in progress and in wanting it so bad that you think about it, all the time. It's like every decision is like crucial, and should I do this? And there's a lot of like, will I feel guilty? And just constantly kind of thinking about our changing our body is exhausting, because I've been there. And so to be honest, I think when I kind of pulled back and changed my whole perspective, is when I saw the results, and when I got consistent, and when I stopped worrying about everything that I was eating and stopped thinking about food as much. That's when everything balanced out, because it became like food is not that big a deal. So like having a piece of cake was like no big deal. Like it was like not a big deal to have it or not to have it. Like it was just like, well, do I really want it? Is that really what I want? Maybe not. And I can choose not to. So it's kind of like, I'm going to make my decisions not based on, is that going to get me results necessarily, and more on, is that going to help me feel my best? And, really like make the work that I'm putting in with workouts, like worth it. Cause I'm like, I'm putting in this work, I'm going to make it worth it. So it's like a positive thing instead of a restrictive thing. And so, really just focusing. And honestly, for me, it was, focusing more on helping other people change their mindset and hit their results, and less about me obsessing over every little thing. And that's when the freedom happened. And that's what I want for each of you. And that's what I want. And so it takes a lot of mindset work. I am going to be doing actually, because that's my favorite part of coaching, is to like coach you guys individually, because that's where the breakthroughs really happen. Following a program, if you follow the program as written, it is designed to get results. It will. That's how it works. Like it will get results if you follow it perfectly. Not perfectly, but really intentionally following it is what will get you the results. Like as if you were in a test group, like if you're testing something out and you, you're going to have days where it's not perfect, but you have to give the testimony at the end of like, well, I did this for, this many weeks, and this is, what my experience was. So having that test group mentality, like you're testing it out, and you have to give like feedback to like Beachbody or to other people. Like that's when it happens, right? So when I went to do a program, I was like, okay, I have to give feedback to other women doing this on what it's like, what was hard about it, what was, where I struggled. And it just made it so much easier to stick to it in a sense, because it wasn't really about me. I hope that might help some of you guys. But when it comes down to like the emotional eating times where, your kids are driving you crazy, or it's been like the longest day in the whole world, it's like reminding myself, I'm testing out this program. I want to like be proud of the results, or I want to be able to be like, okay, this is what I did, and I was really, really focused in, and I was really, working on this so that I could see what the outcome would be. And so that kind of helped me a lot of times, is to be like, okay, I'm doing my after pictures in 4 weeks, So I want to be proud of them. And so if you're not doing before and after pictures, start doing them like at least monthly, so that you know your progress, because otherwise it's going to be a lot harder to see it yourself. Other people can see it, but when you look back at pictures, and this has been for so many of my ladies, they'll be like, I didn't realize I'd come so far until I looked back at that first photo. And so that's why it's so important. And doing measurements, sometimes you only see it change in the measurements. Like, that's just part of it. Everyone's body is so different. And so sometimes the big results come like after like month 4 or month, like it's insane. But I will tell you, consistency is the whole thing. It's all about consistency. Because I used to be the person that was like, eating good or eating, how I wanted to, how I really was trying to for like 3 or 4 days. And then I would get stressed out and then I would stop. And then, so that kind of roller coaster, that visual is you're going to stay the same. Like, there's not going to be any difference unless the dips become smaller and you start doing it at a different wavelength, right? And so that means not being perfect, but having less variance and more consistency. So that's where consistency is everything. So if you are having trouble getting workouts in on, several of you are nurses. And so on those long days, it's okay to tell yourself, that's not when I'm scheduling my workout. I'm going to schedule my workout for the other 5 days and put it on my calendar. And so that way, when you are super tired and your body is saying, I need to rest, you don't feel any guilt because you have it scheduled for these 5 days. And so that may help. But when you stick to it and when you have it scheduled, the best way to help boost your confidence in your energy, all of it, is to follow through no matter what. So even if you do a 5-minute, 10-minute abs, if you have it on your calendar and you committed to it, you can do a 10-minute workout. Like, you can do 10 minutes and then you'll feel like, okay, I did it. And then you can't beat yourself up about it wasn't what I said I was going to do. No, you need to be like, I made it happen, even on the hardest day where it felt like hard, but it was on my calendar. That was a day I had scheduled, and so I'm gonna make it happen. And so following through on the promises you made to yourself is really, really important. And then sometimes we just need like tough love, because at the end of the day, I remember feeling like this so often. I was like, I would be a few weeks, a while. I mean, I did Beachbody programs for 6 months, no results, because I wasn't following the program. Like, I was doing workouts. I was working I like to work out, but I wasn't consistent, and I wasn't treating it like, okay, this is something where I'm making a change and I am really, focused in on it. And so that means, I wasn't super strict or anything, but my mentality was like just totally different. And I was like, okay, this is something I'm showing up to every single day to give my best, and so I feel my best. And so that on, day 30 or day 60, I can look back and be like proud of the effort that I put in, because I'm working hard. And so I know what it's like to not have results and to try really hard for a long time. The first 10 months after I had a baby, the weight actually just went up because I was emotionally eating and just binging, and I would go hard, and then I'd be like, I can't eat carrots, this is awful, like I can't do that, I can't do the containers. The containers weren't my deal. I'm more to be mindset. But sometimes we just need to step back and say like, okay, can I expect amazing results? Can I expect the results if I'm only doing it 50% of the time? No, I'm going to expect like half the results, right? So if I'm putting in half the effort, I should expect, maybe half the results. So if I'm doing just my fitness and not the nutrition, I'm not going to see the change that I want to see, especially if, the change has to happen for change to happen kind of thing. And so you just have to step back and be like, give yourself some tough love. I mean, I will give you tough love. I'm not above that. And sometimes we just need that. We need to step back and be like, okay, why am I beating myself up for not getting these results? And the truth is, it's just that I need to focus in a little bit and change those little things and make those little adjustments. And then I will set myself up for success, right? So if we are expecting big changes from little effort over a little amount of time, we're just setting ourselves up to feel defeated over and over and over again. And that's what I don't want any of you guys to be in. I know that place. And so just being honest, like if people say, does this program work? It's like, if you do the work, it does. That's like any diet. If you do the work, if you do it, it works. But that's where you have to add in, that's where, 30-minute workouts and that you can do from home, make it easy to be sustainable over time. And then not having any restrictions. So like, if you go to an event and you want the cookie, have the cookie, don't ever not let yourself live your life, because it's about sustainability, and that means it's going to take a little bit longer over time. But it's going to feel better in the process. And so that way, you're loving yourself through the journey instead of beating yourself up to get there. Because beating yourself up to get there is only going to make you want to quit. So we're going to love ourselves through the process by loving our bodies with lots of vegetables and stuff like that. And then on the days that we don't, it's like, okay, well, I got, my Shakeology in, which is like tons of vegetables and tons of the foods that my body needs. So, I did that. I did one good thing. So you can feel, good about that. And then if you're traveling, getting in your superfoods, like even more so, it's like you're probably not eating as much vegetables or not eating as the same types of things, more treats, whatnot. I definitely noticed, I wasn't as into the desserts on vacation because I was doing my shake. Like I wasn't, it wasn't like crazy at all. That it does curb the cravings, but the way and the probiotics are really good for your system as you're kind of maybe eating different stuff. And your digestive enzymes and all of that stuff is really important. But just keeping your nutrition more like we talked about, consistent, like less this, more like this, in a consistent line. So and ways that I did that. So I really found that I really like the strawberry shaken with some almond milk and water and ice. So I will literally go to a coffee shop, or like if you go to Starbucks, you can ask for a cup of almond milk and they will give, it's like, I don't know, 70 cents or something, who knows. And then I put it in a big cup with ice and shake it up with your shaker cup, and then you're good with, the chocolate or what have you. You can also make some kind of parfait. I did that for breakfast one day with yogurt and fruit, and then stirred in the shake. And so that's another good way to do it too. So even if you don't have, the blender, still getting in you'll notice the difference. I noticed the difference for sure. The other thing, kids not eating healthy recipes. So you have to remember you're taking care of yourself, and how you're taking care of yourself is something that the kids are seeing. So even if they never touch the food, the vegetables, which my kids are so like that, I'm going to make the food that is going to help, me with my goals and the food that I want to make. And then I'm going to put some on their plate, and then I'm going to add some yogurt or fruit and maybe a handful of goldfish and a cheese stick. And maybe even I might even make some mac and cheese and then put a little portion on their plate. So I'm not doing anything that's really extra work for them. That's all stuff I can just put on their plate. But then I'm not letting that get in the way of what I was gonna, how I was going to, have the healthy foods. And then them seeing you model it, it does make a difference. So, and then I always offer it. I always put a little bit on their plate, and they don't always touch it, and I can't always make them touch it, but sometimes they will come around. So that's, the other thing about having the, sweet and salty cravings, I would say find a really good Shakeology recipe that has salty sweet in it. And that's like a good one that I like to make, because I'm kind of that way too, salty sweet, is I'll literally just take out a little bowl and put some either yogurt or almond milk and oats, like just dry oats, and honey, a little bit of the Shakeology, like maybe a third of a scoop or something, and then peanut butter, or sometimes I'll melt the peanut butter and honey and like stir it up, and it makes like this, it's really to make like the balls, like you can do that, but sometimes I don't even make it into the balls, I just make it into like the good stuff, and it's all like, salty sweet kind of thing. And that's a good one. Or even like I put it in Cheerios, like regular Cheerios, and some almond milk and a little bit of Shakeology and some peanut butter, and stir that around, and it is good. So that's another way. Or you could do some yogurt, any kind of yogurt. You can grab a strawberry yogurt, whatever it is, and then put a little bit of the shake in there and mix it around, and then add in like some nuts or something. That's another good idea. Or you could even grab a pretzel or something. So hopefully that helps. And lastly, the other thing, sorry, this is really long. The other thing I was going to do is I'm going to offer individual, coaching, because I think that's so helpful for some people to have that check-in, like monthly, or even twice a month if you want to, where it is just one-on-one, and we can work through things for you specifically, and I can give you certain, actions and goals, and then we check in, the next session. So that's something that I am going to be offering as far as coaching sessions, because I love coaching people, and I know that you get a certain amount in the group, and for some people that's enough, and for a lot of people one-on-one is so much easier, but I have to be able to compartmentalize that into coaching sessions, because because otherwise I'm not being fair to my family. Oh, that was good. So good. And so those will be like I'm going to do, let's see. The first one would be free, the first session. And then you can do 4 sessions for $100. So like very inexpensive compared to like coaching in general. And then that way you can set them up on my calendar, and you'll know a time that you're going to check in with me, and we have a one-on-one hour that is like to move you forward, right? Because a lot of times to move, it takes that push, and so that's something that I am going to be offering, because I know that it can help so many of you guys. My coach, my mentor coach, not my Beachbody coach, has been pushing me to offer coaching for so long, and finally I'm like, okay, I will. That's different than me coaching you in the group. So me coaching you in the group is literally like, you get your stuff, and then I'm your free coach. And so it's so that's where I'm gonna do some more in-depth stuff with mindset coaching, because I just feel like that's a strength that I've developed, and I want to share what I've learned. So to wrap that up, I'm so excited to be able to be in your corner, and thank you so much for being a family in this group. Like I will challenge you, I will push you, I will make you step out of your comfort zone, and I know that it's for your good and for your growth, and I know that being here, it's a beautiful thing. So thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me, speak, into your life and hopefully help you, just become that person that you want to be, that's just confident and comfortable in her skin and not ruled by the food, not ruled by the, all of that junk. But I believe in you. I know you can do it. And hope if you've watched this far that you are having a fantastic day.